The story begins in an empty school hall. We see Martian, the elderly janitor, performing a strange ritual. He carries a small, flickering oil lamp and a tray filled with various religious offerings. Whispering an incantation, he carefully places these offerings in different spots around the building. He seems completely oblivious to the unsettling, echoing sounds that float through the empty corridors. The next morning, two wealthy students, Bianca and David, race their luxury cars to the school gate. David manages to reach the school first, a minor victory that clearly irritates Bianca. Inside, students pour into the hallways. We are introduced to the school principal, Mrs. Tanya, and a teacher named Armand. A new face arrives, Ratu, who has been hired to manage the school library. Mrs. Tanya gives Ratu the rundown. Her working hours are 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Ratu's eyes are immediately drawn to an unsecured locker behind the desk. Inside, she sees an old, strange book and a bowl containing peculiar items, the same kinds of offerings Martian was seen placing. When Ratu asks about it, Mrs. Tanya curtly replies, "I only discuss necessary things," and quickly walks away. As Ratu investigates the locker, the strange book suddenly snaps shut on its own. Something terrifying exists here. Meanwhile, in the washroom, Bianca and her clique are flexing their power. When another girl comes to wash her hands, they aggressively shoo her away. These girls definitely rule the school. As they head back to class, one of the girls hears a distinct, strange noise. Her friends ignore it and move on, but the noise gets louder for her. She realizes the sound is coming from a nearby changing room. Inside the room, she sees another one of Martian's offering trays. As she reaches for the door handle, Bianca suddenly appears and scolds her. "What are you doing? Class is starting." In class, we meet Razi and Alinda, close friends. Razi is clearly distracted by Alinda. David, Bianca's boyfriend, sits behind Alinda and constantly harasses her. The teacher arrives and hands out test papers. The final exams are just around the corner. After school, a group of girls are practicing dance, an extracurricular class. Razi is sitting and watching Alinda dance. Moments later, Bianca and her clique arrive. They start mocking the dancers, disrupting their practice, and then casually walk off, leaving the girls demoralized. Razi, Alinda, and their friend Rita walk home together. Rita mentions that Bianca is from a powerful family, and David is the school's sports captain with a massive social media following. But that doesn't give them the right to harass everyone, she complains. Rita suddenly gets hungry and decides to leave them to get food. She asks if Razi and Alinda want to join, but they decline, wanting to discuss the test instead. "It's over, why discuss it?" Rita sighs as she walks toward the exit. As she passes the computer lab, Rita hears a strange noise. Nervous, she turns on her phone camera and tries to peer inside. Suddenly, Bianca and her group grab her from behind. "Do you think there's a ghost here?" Bianca taunts. Rita tries to run, but Bianca stops her. "If there's something here, you're going to show us. Come on." Inside the computer lab, a screen is mysteriously on, and one of Martian's offering trays sits on a table. Alinda, now with them, is filming the whole encounter. Bianca pressures Rita. "Call your brother." Rita's brother was a former student who died mysteriously in the school. Rita believes his spirit remains. When Rita reluctantly calls his name, the chair at the empty computer spontaneously slides out. Terrified, they all scream and bolt out of the room. Elsewhere, a girl is enthusiastically cheering for David during his sports practice. Bianca and her group immediately corner the girl. Bianca cruelly humiliates her. "I'm the only one who cheers for my boyfriend. Don't let me see your face near David again. Have you even looked at yourself in the mirror?" Alinda secretly records the whole bullying session. Razi tries to stop her, but Alinda insists, "Our teacher needs to see this. This is an institution, she can't just do whatever she wants." Bianca spots the camera and gives chase, but Alinda gets away. That evening, after her prayers, Alinda is watching the bullying video she recorded. Suddenly, she receives a text from Razi asking if she finished her homework. Alinda smiles. She clearly has a crush on Razi. A shattering sound comes from the next room. Linda rushes in to find her mother sitting on the floor, having dropped a glass of water. Her mother is watching an old video on TV. Alinda, her mother, and her father, laughing and having fun together. Alinda's father passed away a long time ago, and her mother is still grief-stricken. Alinda holds her mother's hand and recites a nursery rhyme her parents used to sing to her. Her mother begins to join in, finding a moment of peace. The next day, Mrs. Tanya calls Razi and Alinda into her office. She praises their academic excellence. "You are the first students in this school's history to receive a free scholarship due to your high grades." She explains that if they perform well on the final exam, only one of them will receive a prestigious full-ride university scholarship. The one with the highest scores wins. The two friends look at each other, their futures suddenly dependent on outperforming the other. As they leave the office, they reassure each other. You'll get it. I know you will. When Alinda gets to her locker, she finds an offensive note stuck to it. She quickly tears it off, wondering who the culprit is. Razi tells Alinda he's heading to the library to study. Alinda says, the way you've been studying, you're definitely going to get the spot. I'm going straight to class. As Razi leaves, Bianca appears. She shoves Alinda, grabs her bag, and pulls out the camera. Want to be a journalist, recording everything? She sneers. Alinda pleads, please, give it back. It was my late father's. David arrives, takes the camera from Bianca, and tells Alinda, if you want it, you can get it. I'm having a party at my place tonight at 9 p.m. Consider this your invitation. They walk away, taking the camera with them. Alinda is sitting in the computer lab, distressed. Her father's camera means everything to her. Suddenly, a message appears on the screen. Don't G.O. She looks away, then back. A pair of glasses on the desk inexplicably moves. Fearfully, she picks them up. In the reflection of the lenses, she sees a terrifying, distorted face. She screams, shocking everyone in the room. Unable to explain what she saw, Alinda runs to the washroom. There, she bumps into Ratu, the new librarian. Suddenly, the lights go out. Ominous sounds echo around them. When the lights flicker back on, the unsettling sound of weeping continues. They realize the crying is coming from the changing room. They cautiously approach, and as Ratu reaches for the handle, a loud bang comes from inside. Terrified, they abandon the door and run off. However, after they leave, the door slowly creaks open, revealing a horrifying apparition inside. It's now 8:30 p.m. Alinda anxiously debates going to David's to retrieve her camera, her father's last memory. Razi calls, but she ignores it. She realizes she must go. She finds her mother watching her father's video again, singing along to his tune. Mom, I always want to see you this happy, Alinda says. Her mother asks if she's going out. Alinda lies. I'm just going to Rita's house for a bit. She says goodbye and leaves. At David's luxurious house, a wild party is in full swing. David, Bianca, and their friends are playing bottle-flipping games and drinking heavily. Alinda arrives and immediately demands her camera back. Stop worrying about the camera. David says, come party with us, then you can take it. Bianca tells Alinda she shouldn't have come. David brings Alinda a drink and tells her she has to drink it to get the camera. When she refuses, they all surround her and force the liquor down her throat. Only one boy, Rocky, looks distinctly uncomfortable. Alinda quickly becomes intoxicated. David grabs the drunken Alinda. Bianca shockingly tells David, use her until you're satisfied. David, pleased, leads a barely conscious Alinda to a different room. The next morning, Alinda wakes up in her room with Rita sitting nearby. Alinda is confused. She doesn't remember anything after drinking. She is even more confused to find her clothes have been changed. Her camera is back. At school, all the students start pointing, laughing, and whispering horrible things as Alinda walks by. She doesn't understand. Suddenly, she receives a video on her phone. It shows her, drunk at the party, slurring insults about the school and the teachers. The video is now viral across the entire school. Mrs. Tanya pulls Alinda into her office. Our school's reputation has been ruined by you, she shouts. The school committee has revoked your scholarship. You are no longer a free student and are banned from all extracurriculars. Alinda desperately tries to explain, but Mrs. Tanya refuses to listen. Enraged, Alinda confronts Bianca. Why did you do this? Do you know what you've done to me? Just because you're rich, you think you can do anything? You got drunk and talked nonsense. How is that my fault? Bianca retorts dismissively. The two begin to fight until Razi intervenes. Alinda, I'm so disappointed in you. I never thought you'd do something like this, he says. Alinda tearfully hits back. I'm more disappointed in you, Razi. We've been friends forever. You couldn't even ask me what happened. Now my life is ruined. I've lost a scholarship. It's all yours now. She walks away, heartbroken. Alinda sits alone in the library, utterly despondent. Her phone buzzes with a new video. She opens it and sees a horrific clip she was completely unprepared for. She drops the phone. The video shows Bianca asking David, "Did you do everything with Alinda?" David replies, "Yes, I did everything." Alinda is shattered. Leaving the library, she passes David and Rocky. She sees them looking nervous. When she reaches her locker, it is covered in hateful messages written by other students. The whole school is discussing her. While in the washroom, a tissue slides under the door of the changing room. She takes it, cleans her eyes, and then leaves. Mr. Armand calls Alinda into his office. The school has spent its endowment on your education, he says. How could you go so astray? I am shocked and disappointed. Alinda tries to explain the truth, but he refuses to believe her. Overcome by a mix of anger, grief, and desperation, Alinda grabs a cutter from a pencil holder and rushes out. Meanwhile, Alinda's mother is folding laundry and finds her daughter's clothes from the night of the party. They are torn. She realizes with dread that something terrible happened to her daughter. Alinda is sobbing uncontrollably and starts to vomit. She is completely broken, unable to face her mother, a poor widow whose hopes were entirely pinned on her daughter's scholarship, which is now gone. Her mother calls. Through her tears, Alinda can only whisper one thing: "Mom, forgive me." She hangs up and uses the cutter to slash her arm. She walks into a nearby elevator and presses the button. As the lift descends, Alinda slowly bleeds out from the wound, collapsing into eternal sleep as a result of the blood loss. This is how a brilliant student's life tragically ends. Alinda's funeral takes place. Her mother is numb with grief and silence. At the gravesite, atop the biggest tree, we see a group of terrifying school-uniformed ghosts watching, invisible to everyone else. Razi's father, an imam who performed the funeral prayers, offers his condolences to Alinda's mother, urging her to be strong. Suddenly, Mrs. Tanya appears and addresses the mother. "What's done is done, but please, I expect you not to tell anyone outside the school. Just say it was a natural death. I don't want Alinda's name to ruin our school's reputation." Alinda's mother is disgusted. She and Rita leave. After everyone is gone, we see Bianca sneak a peek at the grave. A feeling of guilt, or perhaps fear, washes over her. 3 terrifying spirits are sitting near the freshly dug grave. That evening, a prayer session, Dua Mahfil, is held at Alinda's house. Later, as Alinda's mother lies down, looking at a photo of her daughter on her phone, the window behind her suddenly bursts open. 3 frightening school-uniformed ghosts stand there, but they vanish immediately. Then, she hears Alinda's voice reciting the old nursery rhyme. She rushes to the other room and sees Alinda on the TV screen, reciting the poem before the TV goes blank. Her mother realizes Alinda is trying to tell her something. Meanwhile, as Matina cleans the school, he suddenly grabs Ratu's hand. He whispers a single cryptic phrase: "Another victim." Mrs. Tanya is giving a speech to the remaining students. "Your final exams are soon. Alinda's death and the sadness are behind us. Focus on your studies." As she takes the elevator down, she is horrified to see blood oozing up from the floorboards where Alinda died. She quickly rushes out of the lift. Mateen, standing nearby, sees nothing. In the library, Razi is putting away and checking out books. As he pulls a book from a shelf, he sees a horrifying, ghostly face behind it. He immediately tries to flee. Ratu stops him and asks, "Do you know why this locker is always open and why Mateen keeps offerings inside?" Razi explains it's an old story. The original owner of this locker was a boy who killed himself long ago. People believe his spirit is still here. Mane performs the rituals to prevent the ghost from hurting anyone. Razi then rushes off. Ratu sees the horrifying spirit, but she seems intrigued, not scared. Elsewhere, Bianca is boasting to her friends. "I thought Alinda was smarter, but to end your life over something so simple?" David angrily responds, "Whatever she was not like you." Bianca is furious. "I handed her over to you that night, and now you're defending her? Go date her ghost if you liked her so much." She storms away. Alinda's mother is tearfully looking at her daughter's photo when she sees Alinda's camera. Opening it, she finds the video of Bianca and her friends tormenting another student. She now has a horrifying suspicion. Her daughter was a victim of bullying. She confronts Mr. Arman with the video. "My daughter wouldn't have done this for no reason. She was a victim of bullying or torture." Mr. Arman dismisses it. "This video was not filmed on school grounds, so I cannot comment." Enraged, Alinda's mother warns him, "I want immediate action, or I will not stay silent. I have made copies of these tapes and I will release them to the media." She walks out, crying, into the washroom, where Ratu offers her a tissue. The two connect, and Alinda's mother shows Ratu the video evidence, explaining how her daughter must have been driven to suicide by the constant bullying. Suddenly, a loud, terrifying sound comes from the changing room. They fearfully open the door, but it is empty. Bianca is applying cream to her hand, looking in the mirror. For a split second, she sees Alinda's terrifying spirit behind her reflection. She shakes it off, thinking it was her imagination. But then, the cream on her hand suddenly turns to blood. Terrified, she rushes to her room and frantically calls David, but he doesn't answer. She is home alone. A loud knock comes from the door. She cautiously opens it, and a terrifying force pushes her back. Screaming, she runs up the stairs. Alinda's horrifying ghost appears on the landing. Bianca trips, falls down the entire staircase, and dies instantly. The next day, Bianca is also cremated. Her friends stand by the grave, one saying, The way Bianca died was unnatural. If Alinda's ghost is behind this, we need to be careful. They walk away, leaving David heartbroken and alone on the basketball court. David sits alone, terrified. Rocky approaches him. "Rocky, I think I'm next," David says. "I'm scared Alinda will come for me." Rocky pleads, "We have to tell everyone what happened that night. Alinda wasn't at fault. We forced her to drink." "Are you crazy? We'll be expelled," David yells. "Expulsion or our lives?" Rocky fires back and walks away. David is left alone, hearing strange whispers in the nursery rhyme. His phone rings. He looks at the caller, ID Alinda. Shaking with terror, he answers the phone, and a terrifying force attacks him. He screams and runs for his life. Rosie is walking with Rita, who seems distracted. Rosie asks what's wrong. "I can't stop thinking about Alinda," Rita says. Rosie responds, "We can't do anything now, but pray for her soul. Pray and ask for forgiveness." Rosie is later seen praying with his father, the imam. Rosie's father asks if he performs his daily prayers at school. Rosie says he tries, but the father expresses his dislike for the school. It's a big, rich school, but it has no space for religious practice. Meanwhile, Ratu is meeting her boyfriend, a news reporter, at a hotel. Her boyfriend asks why she's distracted by ghosts instead of focusing on the bullying story he hired her to investigate. Ratu replies, "The ghosts are connected to the bullying. I have to investigate them too." We understand that Ratu was a reporter placed in the school to expose the persistent bullying and toxicity. They also discuss how the current ghosts in the school were likely driven to suicide because of ragging and torture. Mrs. Tanya addresses the students again. "First Alinda, now Bianca. I hope you all understand that death is not easy. Do not talk to outsiders about this. Focus on your exams." Rita sees Alinda's horrifying ghost and panics, but Rocky sees nothing. David also sees Alinda sitting in his empty seat. "I just saw her," he whispers to Rocky. "She was right here." Rita says she sees her too. "How do we stop her?" Rita asks. David suggests we should ask Martian to perform a ritual for Alinda like he did for the others. Then she'll stop. Rosie, overhearing them, snaps. "Stop with the superstition. We should all pray together. That's the only way to fix this." The trio goes to Mrs. Tanya. Rosie asks if his imam father can come and perform a prayer ceremony, dua, to help the students. That evening, Rosie and his father pray in the elevator where Alinda died. Mr. Armin and Mrs. Tanya watch. Rosie's father tells them that continuous worship is the only solution and suggests the school must create a proper prayer space. The final exam day arrives. Everyone takes the test. When Mr. Armin is grading the papers, blood suddenly starts seeping through the test sheets. A chair in front of him moves on its own. He rushes out in terror. Alinda's mother arrives at Mrs. Tanya's office, puts Alinda's camera footage on the TV, and shows the principal the evidence of widespread bullying. "Look at the level of bullying and torture happening in your school. This is why my daughter died. It has been a month, and you have done nothing." She threatens, "I have all the copies. I will go to the media if you don't act now." As Mrs. Tanya tries to stop her, Alinda's terrifying ghost emerges from the TV screen. Mr. Armin immediately flees. Mrs. Tanya throws the remote at the TV, and the room returns to normal. Alinda's mother, devastated by the sight of her daughter's spirit, runs out. Ratu rushes over and hands her a tissue. Alinda's mother gives Ratu the copies of the video evidence. As Alinda's mother approaches her home, she sees her daughter's ghost sitting outside. That night, Alinda's ghost is seen embracing her sleeping mother. Later that night, David and Rocky are drinking. Rocky passes out. David starts hearing horrifying noises all around him. He backs up and falls into the swimming pool. An invisible force pushes his head under the water, trying to drown him. Rocky wakes up just in time and saves him. Rosie is studying when he sees Alinda's ghost outside his window. He tells her, "Alinda, forgive everyone. Go to your destination. Whatever happened is over." The ghost screams violently. Rosie quickly begins reciting Ayatul Kursi, a Quranic verse. The ghost immediately flees. The final results are announced. Rosie scores the highest and is awarded a trophy. He gives a moving speech. "This award was not meant for me. It belongs to Alinda. She lost her life to bullying in this school. Those responsible will find no peace here or in the afterlife." He concludes, "I dedicate this trophy to Alinda." He takes the trophy and places it in the elevator where Alinda died. The farewell ceremony takes place that evening. A student play is being shown on a screen. Rocky, unable to bear the guilt anymore, sneaks into the computer lab, the source of the video feed, and plays the full, unedited video of Alinda's drunken breakdown. The whole truth is laid bare to the entire school. The video also shows Rita with the bullies, revealing her as an accomplice. Ratu, who is outside talking to her reporter boyfriend, sees the video and rushes to Alinda's mother, driving her to the school. During the ceremony, Alinda's terrifying ghost appears and begins her final, brutal vengeance. She sets her sights on Rita. Alinda's spirit violently throws Rita across the room. Razi frantically calls his imam father for help. Rita begs Alinda for forgiveness. "Please forgive me. I spread your video because I was jealous. You were beautiful, you were smarter, and all the boys liked you. I never meant for you to die." Alinda's ghost chokes Rita and lifts her into the air, about to kill her. Just then, Razi's imam father arrives and begins reciting Ayatul Kursi. The ghost is forced to release Rita. Rita runs out of the school and into the street, only to be hit by a car, which is violently controlled by Alinda's spirit. Alinda's mother arrives. She tearfully holds her daughter's body. "My child, forgive me. I am the reason for your death. After your father left, I leaned on you too heavily and I never took the time to truly understand you. Please forgive everyone and go to your father in peace. I will be with you soon." Hearing her mother's words, Alinda's ghost finally departs. News reports break the story. An investigation team is formed to identify all students involved in the bullying. Ratu is seen in the library. She smiles as she sees a friendly ghost, knowing they pose no threat to her, as she helped bring their truth to light. Rocky brings Alinda's things to her mother, apologizing for his part in the tragedy. David, meanwhile, is now sick and constantly hearing strange noises. A shadow constantly flashes past his eyes. He is so terrified that he tries to flee his house, but when he opens the door, Alinda's terrifying spirit is standing right there. We hear a final, blood-curdling scream as he meets his end. Rocky is also haunted and attacked by Alinda's ghost. As he walks between rooms, Alinda has successfully completed her vengeance, bringing the story to its tragic end. And that's the terrifying truth behind the unholy locker. What do you think was the most shocking moment of Alinda's revenge? Let us know in the comments below.